if you look at the chart for the British pound, it is pretty much the same as we were looking at as far as the indices, but here there is an interesting setup, is that we closed the week at 155.96. We do have a structural point which is right there at 156.04, having closed below it, and it is a normal close. I mean, the close that you see is kind of neutral. This makes our trade for the coming session rather easy, because we are below a structural point, and the structural point is about, let's say, less than 10 pips away. So this makes our buying point a no-brainer, if you will. So if I go to the intraday chart to decide where I'm going to buy it, you can see that the structure long point, again, just to maintain our consistency, is 156.04. So on the intraday you can look at 156.15. Okay, but for the sake of being uniform and consistency, we're going to use our long entry, and our is the 156.04. That's going to be our long entry. It is going to be our structure long point, and it is going to be our stop. When you have a structure point as our entry, we use it as our stop. We give it 10 pips on either side, guys, for the guys that are joining us for the first time. But having the stop and the entry one and the same, of course, common sense has to prevail. You cannot buy it at 54 and use zero stop. You need to give it like 15, 20 pips, but you're not going to give it any room to come against you, because if it gets above the 156.04, it should fly. Okay? But this is a method of being consistent in our entry and setting our stops. On the short side, we do have a selling point here, which is the 155.80, and we have the previous daily low, which is 155.78. So it's one and the same. So we're going to go short below the 155.78, and if I do, I'm going to use the 156. The 156 as my stop, because it's the structure point. It is my long entry, so this is going to be my stop. So on the short side, I'm going to go short, which should be the resumption, below 155.78. And if I do, I have a big structure point here below it at 153.65. So we should be traveling at least a couple of 100 pips or 300 pips to the downside. And since I have a structural long point at 156.04, this is also going to be my stop, because I'm going to go short below 155.78. So my stop above it is going to be about 22-24 pips. Okay, so I'm going to be buying it above the 156.04. It is my structural long point and my long stop. On the short side, I'm going to go short below 155.78. I have a structure short point at 153.65, and my stop is going to be the same at 156.04. Okay, that is the pound dollar. That is your pound dollar numbers. And let me save the recording.